Good evening. I use the microphone because I know I have a very soft voice and I want you all to hear me. Professor Angela Varney, this is Andrea Richter, the President of the European Museum Academy, candidates, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Hands-On International, I welcome you. And let me first thank you, Professor Varney, very much for offering us the opportunity to have the ceremony in this beautiful place. For those who are not familiar with Hands-On International, we are an Italian-based organization representing institutions that strive for high-quality exhibitions and programs for children. And our members include children's museums, museums with permanent spaces for children and families, science centers, and science centers. And among the platforms and organizations we work with, in the first place, that is the European Museum Academy, but also the American Children's Museum Association, Excite, and ICON. Our aim is to provide an effective voice at government policy level and to stimulate exchange and debate within the profession. Hands-On aims to create more space for high-quality cultural and educational activities for children and to stimulate the role of play in inspiring creativity and informal and lifelong learning. I would like to do it without paper, but my English is not so good that I can do that. Today's ceremony here in Bologna is our third award presentation. And this year, we mentioned it already, we have made a slight but significant change to the name. We now are called the Children in Museums Award. And we did this to emphasize that our goal is to encourage professionalism and excellence in exhibition and children's programs, but not only in children's museums, but also in collection-based museums and science centers. And hopefully this will also encourage even more museums around the world to participate. Children's museums are not the only institutions to offer innovative and in-depth educational programs for children. Collection-based museums increasingly take children seriously, dedicate staff and spaces for the specific needs of this age group. And Hands-On International and the European Museum Academy both encourage this development and emphasize its importance. While you know me as President of Hands-On International, and perhaps remember me as the Director of Tropical Museum Junior, it's my privilege now to head the Public and Education Department at Amsterdam's Rijksmuseum, Holland's leading museum for art and history. And on my dress, you see one of its paintings. And for those who don't know, who knows the name of the painter?
Not Obama.
No. It's Averkamp. And I have a small story I told him, because to stress why education is so important, and that the thought that everyone who is highly educated knows everything about art, that is not true. One of my new colleagues I don't tell which department, but a highly educated person, a few years ago started to work with the Rijksmuseum, and we were starting the Averkamp project. And we said, well, we have this Averkamp meeting. And because we were spread around the offices around Amsterdam, she said, okay, where is this Averkamp? Is he in this building or that building? So it was very, very fun. So we know it's very important to have education. Well, this was not... now I got lost track. I was at the Rijksmuseum. And I will say that I am proud to tell you that for the first time in its existence, the Rijksmuseum Education Department has now 5 staff members out of a total of 15 employees that work exclusively for children. And don't forget that we serve more than 2 million visitors a year. And whereas about 200 families and children and 100,000 school children a year are part of the public. We've dedicated a 3-story art school building in the museum garden for children. It's called the Taker School, the Drawing School, and it holds a children's museum and 2 studios featuring programs for children and families. And in addition to our permanent staff, we employ about 70 freelancers who work exclusively for those number of families and children and school children I just mentioned. So that's why also we stress that this award should be a Children in Museums Award. And we encourage more also large collection-based institutions to really take this public of children serious. Children museums are very often a source of inspiration to the so-called adult museums, and especially when it comes to addressing a general audience, and of course more specifically to children. And we should not underestimate how they have emancipated museums that have led the way in showing that children are also core visitors to other museums. For children, museum visits are part of their development into human beings with a creative mind, and museums are an essential part of learning to function in today's complex society. At the hands-on conference in Stockholm last year, Tropenmuseum Director Margaret Pals and Prince Museum Linda Master, who are both previous award winners, shared with us how important winning the award was for them. And this was not only true for the winners, but for everyone involved. Many of the museums received press coverage simply for participating. It increased their profile and created more awareness of their presence and their activity in their own countries. It was an important signal to politicians. In today's economic climate, many cultural institutions are struggling to survive, and not least institutions that focus on children. Visibility, acknowledgement, and concrete results are vital assets that need to be exploited at every opportunity. I'm truly glad, and I also speak on behalf of the European Museum Academy here, that this award has been able to make such a difference. And please allow me to thank all our partners and benefactors who have provided the organizational and financial support which we need to make this award into a meaningful way of promoting the visibility and professionalization of bringing culture and science to children. It is crucial that we take children seriously and encourage museums to create permanent, high-quality, interactive learning environments with innovative, age-appropriate exhibitions and programs. Today, we have the honor of presenting the third award on behalf of the two organizations. The winner will hold the trophy for 1 year, after which it will be handed over to the next winner. The actual trophy is a bronze statue of Miffy, you see it here. The children's book character created by Dick Bruna, a famous Dutch artist, writer and illustrator. Miffy is known around the world. She embodies ideals such as creativity, fantasy, openness, and notice how she always faces you. If you look at the statues or the paintings of Miffy, she always faces you. As well as a positive attitude, freedom of thought, and child-friendliness. She's a familiar, friendly character that children recognize and love around the world. And this was underlined in 2004 when New York City chose her as their family tourist ambassador in their campaign to attract tourist families back to the city after 9/11. Miffy was sculpted by the artist Mark Bruna, Dick Bruna's son. And the trophy has traveled from Philadelphia, home of last year's winner, to the last year's winner, Peace Statue Museum, to Bologna. And now, of course, we want to know where it will go next. I thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful evening and a pleasant stay in Bologna.